Summer tow update, 25th of July, 2026. The late July summer tub update. So, as always, we start with the Euphanius Vladicovi tub, and let's see if I can actually get them on camera. I just saw one, but he's in the shadow now. There's one of them. Don't know if you can see him. There's Euphanius Vladicovi fry hanging out down there. Yeah, you can see the one. He just dove back in the algae, but yeah. There, that one towards the bottom. Oh, there's another one up at the top. That guy's looking, I don't know. He's got it. He's at least, he's over a centimeter. Let's put it that way. Getting towards a half an inch. Oh, there's another one down there. So yeah, we're getting Euphanius Vladicovi, good size, growing out. One of my favorite species. In fact, I think I might even like them better than the Euphanius mento. They just have they don't have the aggression that the mento do. The mento males can be really aggressive towards each other, like literally straight up kill each other, whereas the Vladicovi don't do that. The Vladicovi are much more relaxed fish. They also, Vladicovi, they tend to be more visible in the tubs than the mento, actually. Even the adults, so there's so much algae in this tub that you're just not going to see them. Over to the gold medaka tub. This is going well. Seeing lots of little fry. Of course, the sun's at like the perfect angle to need to shade them, but you can see them hanging out right there. Yeah, they're all still little. There's one of the, there's two of the adults actually. But yeah, the golds are doing quite well. We're slow to get started this year, but they're going. The Steel Hikari tub. As you can see, we got one of the het Hikari females has eggs on her right there. And then that gold Hikari male, I've noticed the last couple weeks, he's got something wrong with his mouth where he can't really close his mouth. And I see that he's getting skinnier and skinnier. So I don't know how long he's going to be for this world, but I guess we'll see. Oh, there's that gold Hikari female that has a carrying a nice set of eggs on her too. And good news, we'll see if we can find them. They were over here in this corner. Don't know if we'll be able to see them. I'm gonna move. I could see one. He might be hard to see in the shadow. But yeah, we're starting to get fry in this tub, which is better late than never. Over in the tricolor tub, yeah, still getting lots of little fry, and as you can see, fry growing out. That big guy down there is over half an inch. Not seeing really any evidence of any actual like tricolors. They're mostly black and white, but also that might be just the coloration has not developed yet. We got a couple cats hanging out over here. But yeah, tricolors at least seem to be very productive. Very productive tub. This what I believe is another taro that I inherited is just finally starting to put off a leaf. And yeah, the plants overall are doing well. We've got the spearmint over here. The Swiss Ricola mint is putting off flowers. And some of the other mints are starting to flower too. And this cardinal flower is obviously flowering. Moving over to the ukihis. Of course, there was a ton of them out earlier this morning. But the fry are definitely growing out. You can see there's a breeder way down there. But you can see we're getting quite a, size variety of fry, which makes me want to bring up, you can see they're not as colorful as the adults, and that's because they need to get their color from their diet and also maturity. That's one of the things I've been thinking about lately is, not so much, I mean, we'll see, but like, I thought, for a while I actually, what was it, last year I discontinued my gold strain and then revived it for this year. So I thought, oh, gold's just not as interesting as Yukihi because they don't have the same intense orange as, you know, that breeder right there, that mature breeder. But also, I've been lately thinking of, you know what, the problem with the Yukihis though is that, you know, it's not till they're mature that they get that full intense orange, and so, you know, the basically when you're selling them, uh, the you know, the people buying them, they don't necessarily understand, like, yeah, like, just because, like, when you buy a young rice fish, it's not going to have the full color yet, and it takes time to develop that, and especially it takes time outdoors. They need that intense UV light from the sun to develop their colors. And the thing with the golds is when you sell golds, and they're kind of, you know, I can usually get them better than this color, but, you know, when they're, you know, kind of this lighter, you know, yellowish, orangish, people expect that from the golds, but from Yukihis, they want them to be that, you know, fluorescent orange from day one, and that's just not how it works, you know. Anyway, moving over to this algae-infested Miyuki cross tub. Lots of fry, both black and white. Don't think I've seen any golds yet, but hopefully here soonish. Got a bunch more over here. You can see more of like the white ones over here. But yeah, they are, yeah, they're doing well. This is going to be, you know, a project over the next several years to introduce Miyuki into some of the other colors and fix them in those lines. I should say too, the water in the tubs is low. It's very hot right now out here, and you know, in the 90s every day. And I have not topped the tubs off yet because it tends to stir up a bunch of stuff, but I'll be topping the tubs off after this video. Geo's doing good. It's hot out, so I don't think he's basking. He might come up if he thinks he's going to get fed. This small Halloween tub, the Halloweens are definitely growing out. Much like with the Yukihis, they don't have much color yet. Need to get them on the food that has astaxanthin, because the golden pearls don't have any color carotenoids in them. And that's one of the things I'm actually thinking about next year, switching back to the aquarium co-op fry food, because it has astaxanthin in it. The astaxanthin in it, which means that it helps develop the colors on them sooner. So yeah, I think that might be what I end up doing. The marbled Hikari tub, as you can see, the breeders are still there. You can see actually one of the females is holding eggs right now, which is great. I thought that I saw a fry in this tub a couple days ago. I have not been able to find it since, but you know, we're seeing they're carrying eggs. Supposedly thought I saw a fry, so hopefully we will see more of them. And really, I just want them to produce enough that that'll have enough specimens to work with for next year. This orange mint looks like it's about to, just about to flower. So as you can see, those are flower buds developing right there. So I'll give it a couple days, and this is going to have flowers on it. So the thing with the these Hikaris, like both the Hikari strains, is actually kind of almost considering keeping them, not to produce to sell, but just for my own enjoyment, because they're not very productive. But in some ways, that's kind of actually nice. If they just produce enough to keep the line going, that means you don't have to worry about, oh, have I made enough to sell? Do they all meet the quality standards, etc. Have not seen any evidence of fry from the Euphanius mento tub, which is weird. Usually they're very productive, but I don't know. You know, hopefully we see some soon. If not, not to the end of the world. I've got a lot of mento still inside, plenty that I could, you know, I will have plenty for next year if I need to reset. Um, this white and black tub, not a whole lot happening, seeing no fry. Honestly, I'm cool with that. That's one less tub that I have to deal, like one less tub that's going to be hard to deal with taking down at the end of the season, especially because this tub has got a lot of algae in it, and algae-ridden tubs are a pain in the ass to work with, to break down. Um, so, but yeah, the breeders seem to be doing okay though. The big white and black tub, uh, as you can see, there's the breeders. Got a female loaded with eggs. They're always loaded with eggs. Tons of eggs, but I'm not seeing tons of fry. I mean, I'm seeing some. You know, there's a group, oh, of course they split up. There was a group of them swimming right there. But you can see there's some around, and we're getting varying sizes, so it's not like, you know, there's a little guy. You know, that one's a few days old. That one's a really little guy down there. Got some really little guys by the edges are probably only a couple days old. But yeah, I'm just kind of surprised. I'd expect to see more, but that's kind of been a theme for this week, which kind of brings me to what I promised last week, which was making a comparison between hornwort versus water lettuce. So why do I use why do we use hornwort and water lettuce? Well, two things. It provides, well, really, I guess technically three. It provides cover from the fish, especially from predators. It also provides space for the, especially the egg layers to lay their eggs, and cover for fry to protect them from the adults, their breeders, so that they don't get cannibalized. And the third thing is it helps outcompete the algae more or less. And so differences between the two. It seems like I used to say, oh, the water lettuce is better at outcompeting algae than the hornwort. I'm not so sure about that now. What I do think is that when you do get algae mixed into it, it's easier to clean algae off of water lettuce than hornwort. It's basically impossible to get like algae like this out of hornwort. Actually, there's a lot of fry in this tub now, little fry. It's just been a weird year with the Halloweens. I thought because the Halloweens went gangbuster last year, and this year they really haven't. I mean, they're doing okay, obviously, and this tub's actually pretty productive for them. But like, this tub's been mediocre, and then that small tub up there, normally the 40s like that, they produce a ton of little fry, and that one there just really hasn't. But anyway, yeah, it's harder to get algae out of hornwort. I feel like it's easier when you need to thin the plants out of the tub. It's easier to just pull out water lettuce than pull out hornwort. Water lettuce is kind of self-limiting in that it only grows on the surface. So eventually it will totally clog the surface. But hornwort, literally, because it's a subsurface plant, it floats, but it's, floats below the surface. Like, this hornwort, probably, not here, you can kind of tell it doesn't go to the bottom there, but probably over there, I would not be surprised that hornwort goes all the way to the bottom of the tub. So especially for fish that need swimming space, hornwort can kind of take things over. But on the other hand, if you want fish that want a lot of cover, hornwort's great for that. As suitability for fry production, as, providing hiding space for fry and egg laying, sites, feel like the water lettuce might be a little bit better than that. I feel like I've been more successful, like had more production from the water lettuce tubs than the hornwort tubs. But obviously, like this tub, at least now that it's kind of hit its stride, seems to be doing okay on that front. So anyway, I guess the point being, they both have their uses. I was using primarily water lettuce for several years now, not really using hornwort, mainly because of the algae issue. But this year I decided to try hornwort again, just because, sometimes you want to go back and make sure that you're not just falling into a rut. And, it seems to be working okay. But, yeah, just things to consider. I probably will continue using a bit of hornwort, but will mainly keep with the water lettuce. Anyway, hope you guys are, having a good time with your tub season, and talk to you later.